Money! Oh, no. Guess we're doing Garrett Crochet here with the money song. Rejoin. Money!
Nailed it.
Good job, T-Bone.
Connecting those dots, baby.
Okay. Garrett Crochet last night. The big, powerful lefty signed a big contract. 6 years, $170 million.
So they were closer on this than everybody thought because once the season started, he didn't want anything to do with this. But they kept talking, obviously, right?
A few days ago, there was the report where Crochet was asked, like, oh, what ended up happening leading up to opening day? And he goes, it actually went down to the wire. I felt like the minute you heard that, if those two sides are already close on a deal, you're doing everything you can to push it over this week because you wait even to the All-Star break, it might be another $50 million on top of where you were at.
And if it were another week or 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks, they were always picking up the phone. Artificial deadlines are a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, 0 for 2 right now for the Red Sox, right? Cora last year and now this one.
It's a good one.
And that's what Sam Kennedy was saying, right? Sam Kennedy a week ago goes, look, we got the deal done with Cora last year. We did it with Pedroia.
Yeah.
We've done it with Buchholz. They were screaming like, cool, he set his deadline. They're trying to put pressure on us. We're hammering it out.
Yeah, when we call with $170 million, you'll probably pick up the phone and answer, and we'll have a conversation. That's how it was going to go. That's how it was always going to go. That's why there was no point in listening to Garrett Crochet talk about his deadline. Okay, pal. If you're willing to talk in spring training, you're willing to talk in April, May, June, July, and August, too. Now, the price, as you said, Milliken, may have started to go up. But I think by getting it done now and showing up with that $170 million, no deferred money, and an opt-out, the Sox got a good deal here. They got a deal done. Crochet gets a lot of financial security and $170 million that he knows he will always be able to collect on. And the Red Sox lock him up for 5 years beyond this season. And it's at reasonable money, 28 and change.
If you're Crochet, you probably should have waited.
So it puts him in the range of the top 10. He'll now be the 7th highest paid player at his position in baseball. Puts him in the top 10. I'm sure he will soon be bumped out of the top 10. That's how this works.
You got 4 guys this upcoming offseason, Dylan Cease, Zach Gallen, Framber Valdez, Michael King, who could all push past that number.
Yep. So with that being the case, I think the Red Sox, if he pans out the way I think a lot of us expect him to, and I have a lot of belief in this player, I think most people do, well, $28 million a year these days is for a starter, for a good one. We know he doesn't suck, right? The only question is, can he do it consistently over a full season, year after year after year?
That's the only thing he hasn't shown.
That's a big question, though. That's an important one, though. But let's say he can't. Let's say he's a guy who's oft injured. Let's say he's a guy who's not able to give you 200-plus innings every year, right? Let's say these things about him. Oh, okay. Well, guess what? The money's not prohibitive, and they'll survive. And he doesn't stink. When he's available, he does not stink.
Right.
You know who that screams? Tyler Glasnow with the Dodgers, who's making $27 million. And now he's on the other side of 30, so he's getting older. Crochet, this is the prime. He should only be getting better at this point. But if he is that max out 5-6 innings and dominate for 150, yeah, it fits right in. Nate Eovaldi's making $25 million for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Good number 2 money. I think the comp to look at is Max Fried, isn't it? Like, that was the guy who was seemingly the Red Sox number 1 target this offseason. 8 years, 218. He's making $1 million less because he wanted that extra year. Well, guess what? You're paying Max Fried from 31 through 39. To get Crochet for similar money through his prime, yes, you gave up the prospects. That's why you had to get the deal done. I feel much better about Crochet being an ace for 6 years than maybe Fried for the next 3 or 4, hopefully.
There are 26 pitchers in baseball making over $20 million a year now. 26. And there are a total of 11 that are making 25 or more. There are a bunch of guys that are north of 20.
Like you
now.
said, like Eovaldi's at 25.
Yeah.
What'd you say this morning, Milliken? Basically gave him the Yamamoto deal?
Yeah, it's very similar. If you split it in half, it's essentially 6 years, 170. Yamamoto was 12 years, 320.
Walker Buehler makes $21 million this year, guys. Walker Buehler, who there are mixed opinions on. So if Walker Buehler picks up $21 million a year, $28 million a year for your ace, a guy who can be a true ace, is a very reasonable number. And if it doesn't pan out, they're going to be okay. If he is not a Cy Young contender, they're still okay on this deal. Huge upside. They're going to be okay. They will have saved money by doing it now, but I give them credit for doing this. And no deferred money.
No.
They're not pulling any of that phony baloney crap on this deal. No deferred cash. They are actually paying the man.
And this is the first time you have a real, for the people that didn't want to give John Henry any credit for Alex Bregman, I'm not telling you to go nuts, but if you were looking for a long-term deal with money right there, Garrett Crochet is kind of the answer to all that. This is a contract that you put out there, and credit to Craig Breslow for having the urgency, too. Bloom really seemed to struggle getting John Henry to believe to pay for different things. So far, Breslow, 2 for 2. Bregman, Crochet, those were things he wasn't agreeing to the last half-decade.
So, good news for the Sox. I love it. I think it's a positive sign. And I love that they got the guy locked up. I do. It's a good deal. Good deal for them. Good deal for all involved. Congratulations. Money!
Don't steam up to.
The game itself yesterday, not their worst effort of the year.
Look at you staying positive.
8-5.
I am staying positive on this Red Sox team. I'm not worried about him yet.
You sound like the broadcast.
Oh, my. But make your pick, radio or television. Wow. We have entered the full-blown state media coverage of that team.
Yeah, I've had more on the radio because I've been doing stuff, but yeah, you get it. There's
really, my only gripe
some
with
protection going in
my
there.
only gripe with the TV side is that they are going just so over the top on Christian Campbell. They just can't get enough of him, which I get. I mean, exciting young player. It's been a bit since that's happened. Red Sox lost yesterday again to drop to 1-4 on the year, opening day in Baltimore, and Rafael Devers is still struggling. He's still struggling.
See that one foul ball, though? Cora says he's making strides right now. We're almost there.
You didn't mention the 2 walks. Come on.
There are swings and misses from Rafael Devers 5 games in that are alarming only because there doesn't seem to be any adjustments being made right now. The swings in Game 5, the swings and misses on pitches that Rafael Devers historically would hammer. Yeah.
You mean like a sinker at 92 up in the zone?
A fastball over the heart of the plate that he looks 8 minutes behind.
Would you say that one was 92, 93?
You ever have that moment on your TV when, sometimes your feed of whatever it is you're watching glitches for a moment and the words and the mouths don't match up? And you're like,
yeah,
why is the audio behind the mouth moving? That's how I feel about Rafael Devers' swing at times. Like, wait, do I have to switch the channel and switch it back so that realigns? You ever have that happen, Milliken? Yeah, everyone's had that
Way
happen
too
at
many
some
times.
point. Right? Where you're behind your TV blowing on the HDMI cord like it's a Nintendo cartridge. Plug that back in.
The only
Do I
way
have a
MLB TV works.
Do I have a connection issue? What's happening here? That's what he's got. He's got some loose wiring right now. The wiring is loose. The Nintendo cartridge needs the Q-tip and a little rubbing alcohol, maybe. Something's going on.
What's it called? Latency?
There's latency. Yes. There was one 93-mile-an-hour fastball late in the game yesterday that Devers was, again, several minutes behind in his swing. And I'm like, that pitch looks 10 miles an hour faster because of his swing and his inability to catch up, because his swing has changed and his stance is different and it's noticeable. It's not the same. Why aren't they helping him fix it? What have they been doing? And I'm glad they have an off day today. I hope they're working on it today. I hope they're doing something today. A lot of people would say, get away from it, clear your mind. I don't think it's mind clearing that he needs. He needs adjustments in his swing and in the positioning of his head during some of these swings. He is off, man. He is off.
So who told him to do this?
It's almost like at times his top half doesn't match his bottom half. There's just so many funky things
So you're saying that
happening with this.
So it's the shoulders that are lower.
At the end of
It's more on a plane than it is sort of. I'm trying to look at it and say, well, what did he look like before?
At the end of last year when he was dealing with the shoulder injury, they were very heavy on the idea that he changed his mechanics to try and get by, to keep on hitting, to make it work. Obviously, he wasn't able to make it work. When he showed up this spring after not taking any swings all offseason, which the team didn't want him to do, they were kind of refiguring out his swing path and how to get him back to where he once was. It was going to be different, but to get him,
his legs
hitting the ball like he was.
And I'm not a baseball player, but his legs look like they're so far ahead of the upper body. Like the legs are there. And you see this with golfers that end up pulling it or pushing it. Because the legs get through, but your body and your hands and your wrists don't catch up with your leg speed and your transfer weight. It's just, he looks like the two parts of his body are in different places.
And it's existed now for at least a month because Devers, when he was going to core, kept saying, my timing isn't right. Something isn't okay here with my timing. I can't get it. That's why he kept pushing it back. Devers has seemingly seen this happening in front of him, and he's been concerned, and now you're here into the regular season.
So who's
you're
at
getting
fault
exploited.
Who's at fault for it? For him not fixing maybe the bad habits that he tried to manipulate through the injury at the end of the year? Because you mentioned how many times he struck out at the end of the year. And it's sort of like you pick up right where you left off.
Is it the team not being able to get him to where he needs to be with this new swing path and they just can't get it to click for him? Is it muscle memory and he just needs a certain amount of swings until, hey, I'm used to this, I don't have to think about it? Because if he's thinking about it all the time.
They got cage guys. They got cage guys that told Jim Rice, go pound sand. I mean, it's not the way we do it. So somebody's to blame for this.
And that's where, I think a lot of people start looking at the hitting coach.
You've ruined your best hitter.
A slow time with the adjustments. But with Devers here, at the same time, can you look at Pete Fatse and say, damn, Rafael Devers can't get a single hit right now. The worst start in MLB history for a player in terms of strikeouts and not getting a hit. Like, you're looking, he can't be this bad. Like, there's something so wrong here that some of it you can't even put on the hitting coach.
Of course, got to go and say, hey, Pete, what the hell's going on here? Like, you don't just let it go.
Some of it is on the player. I don't think anyone's debating that. Like, he didn't get ready for the year and was apparently not super eager to be in the lineup in spring training games. But I think it's now, listen, they're 5 games in now. This is real live action. You need to see some changes made with him.
You do, for sure. But I'm kind of with you, and I've placed a lot of blame on the organization, whether they handled this Bregman thing and Rafael Devers and everything. At the end of the day, you got a $313 million contract. The expectation is that you're ready to go for the start of the year, despite what the organization does.
Yep.
And this is so far from anything that should be acceptable for a player making that kind of money, despite everything that's worked against him. And I don't think the organization has been perfect, but still, there has to be some accountability when it comes to the player. I'm sorry.
There's a difference between being cold and being broken. Rafael Devers is broken right now. He's not cold.
Right. But if he doesn't walk away from spring training and do some of the things and is actually up and working, and again, I understand, and there was reason to be upset if you're him. Are we having these conversations? Right. Isn't that what spring training's for, to figure this stuff out before the regular season starts?
And that's, I think, the biggest thing. You took weeks during spring training, and the same issue that you were complaining about then that you couldn't get right, it exists a month later, and you haven't been able to fix it. That doesn't feel like something that happens overnight right now. Like, he's going to show up on Wednesday and all of a sudden be smoking homers.
Right.
A month ago, he was saying his timing couldn't get right. Well, we're a month later, and it's still not right.
It's not good. It's not a good look right now for anybody involved. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand here. For more Red Sox analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.